Welcome back. This is Arunfoot Chaudhary. You are on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot, and it is December the 29th, 2024. It's the last Sunday of the year, and we had a little while ago a matchup between Jamshedpur FC and the Kerala Blasters, with Jamshedpur FC winning the encounter 1-0 through a Parthik Chaudhary goal in the second half. And that is another one of those matches, which have an effect on the table, because it was very, very clear that for the Blasters on one side, they needed a win to put pressure on the teams above them. And it was clear with the loss, Jamshedpur FC would move higher in the table. So the interesting scenario now is that Mohun Bagan Supergiant first with 29 points from 13 matches. Bengaluru FC have 27 from 13. FC Goa 22 from 12 matches. And Jamshedpur FC 21 from 12. Especially their home form is keeping them there. Odisha FC and Mumbai City FC are on 20 points each. Odisha 13, Mumbai City 12. Mumbai City tomorrow face Northeast United, who are 7th. And 8th is Punjab FC, both of them 18 points from 12 matches. Chennai have 15 from 14 matches. Kerala Blasters have 14 from 14 matches. East Bengal have 14 from 13 matches. Hyderabad FC have 8 points from 13 matches. And bottom of the table, Mohammedan Sporting only with 6 games. So it's an interesting race. So let's see what happens. First of all, good evening, Kieran Rare. Good evening, Blue. When Kerala Blasters learn the things, I'm tired of their style, they could done well easily in this game. Yep. It is something of a thing that they could have done this better, they could have done that better, but they didn't, they couldn't. And then you end up with a game like this, and it's a problem for the Blasters. It was a problem, it is a problem, I guess, and they need to be better. They simply need to be better. They need to do more to be able to be able to put pressure on their on other teams, and at the moment that's not happening. And I don't know, I know Sadui sometimes creates great chances, sometimes I feel just being wasteful again. And I think the biggest problem for the Blasters is Adrian Luna, and to me, very interesting to see what they do. But Adrian Luna, I think, is a topic that if not sorted now, I think it will be a topic in the summer. I don't think in the summer the contract of Adrian Luna will be extended, because to me is I think his best time is over. And the Blasters now need to think about how they're gonna get the results that they want, that they need. So that, to me, those are some of the summaries, and I think the Blasters will be an interesting one to see how it develops. Jamshedpur FC are top 4. Yeah, what to say? I mean, this just sums up the quality or the lack of quality in the league to me. They do the basics. They defend. I think the Blasters should have maybe taken the lead in the first 10 minutes. They didn't, and thereafter, Jamshedpur had their opportunities, had their chances. But on the other side, it's just that they need to do. They just got their things right, and that was more than enough in this game. And I think, as I said, it doesn't speak for the league when a team, when plays like this, gets a top 4 position at this stage of the league. Kerala Bengal in Santosh Trophy final. Yes, Kerala and Bengal, both of them won today. Bengal, of course, beating defending champions Services 4-2. So big win. But again, it's a Santosh Trophy. Let's see the 2 biggest states in that. Sir, thoughts on tomorrow's women's game? Kieran, I don't know, those of you who follow women's football, were you surprised that Alexanderson is now the head coach of the senior women's team? I thought he was supposed to be the head coach of the India under 20s, and under 17s. Little surprised to see that. And he's gone for he's gone for younger players. That's an interesting one, which I feel he's gone for younger players, and he's gone for talent. Let's see if the young Tigresses can prove that they're ready for international football. So interesting thing to see. Karabas's set pieces look like they should rather have the other team take it. Yeah. It's the set pieces for the Blasters were always something. At least even last season there was something about it, but at the moment, Babalu's animation, not much to talk about. Do you agree that when they were playing Kuef as defensive midfielder and Drincic as centre back without one of Luna Noah and Jimmy Pepra at front, they play better in the early part? 3 attackers at front isn't balanced. Yeah, looks like it. And looks like it because, again, as I said, to me, Adrian Luna, he's one of the legends of the ISL. Very difficult. And Noah Sadoui is sunlight and darkness. You never know what you're going to get. And that's, I think, another thing. Kwame Pepra also, the injury to Jimenez is hurting them a lot. So Jimenez, I think, I don't think they would even have the points that they have on the table, on the board, if Jimenez wasn't there. So that's also something. Good evening, Uchut. Number of points to be discussed. First of all, didn't expect much from Jamshedpur FC, but they're doing pretty well. Yeah, that has to be said. They're doing better. And I said they're doing the basics right. To me, again, as I said, they're doing the basics right. They know what to do, not to do, and that's working for them. So therefore, Jamshedpur are where they are in the table. Yeah, very successful at the moment. From last 6 games, I'm monitoring Karabas's FC players get physical a lot instead of focusing on their gameplay, game style. Yeah, good observation. I think I was a little shocked when I was listening to Purushothaman after the match in the post-match interview, where it's like, why did you put me in this situation, sort of, and that's something, I had hoped, I'd expected more from Thomas Schorsch, but it will be very interesting to see what the Blasters do going forward. Kerala Blasters this season, it's over 11 years, trophy-less, one and only team. Yeah, Pradeep, as I said, I feel it's sad because I think this team, this club, the fans deserve something, because again, they're one of the success stories, in my opinion, in the Indian Super League. But again, yes, they will most likely, except if the Super Cup is played, and if they play the Super Cup, they will remain trophyless. Yes, that looks like it. Santosh Sir is the senior team coach. Sacking of Thomas was shocking to me. Okay. But Santosh Kashyap is not there. So Alexanderson is the coach, right? I mean, he was working with the under-20s. Now he's with the senior team. And Thomas Tannery wasn't sacked. The contract wasn't renewed. What? I didn't even know that. By the way, where can we watch? As per the AIFF, the match tomorrow will be broadcast. It will be live streamed on the Indian Football YouTube channel from 3:30 p.m. onwards. So India versus Maldives at the Padukone Dravid Center for Sports Excellence in Bangalore. They will play each other, and the match will kick off at 3:30 and will be live on the Indian Football YouTube channel, the official channel of the AIFF. Kerala Blasters FC need rebuild the team. Your opinion, sir? Yeah, Pradeep, I think so. I think they need to look at themselves in the summer and then I think for them it's very, very important to look at the team and then look at what to do, not to do. But this team is done, and I think there's a lot of dead wood in there. Sorry to say that, but I think it's so therefore I think for them it's very, very important to get the results, and and that will be interesting to see. But to me, Kerala Blasters at the moment not good enough. Hi Shivam, have you been following the Sunset Trophy tournament? If yes, what's your thoughts about Bengal and Kerala? Sadly, I have not been following the tournament, to be very honest. I heard something about Bengal from certain people, that they were praising them a lot. But yeah, I've not actually watched it this time around, to be very, very honest. No offense, but Luna bit seems like burden on team harsh, but it's bitter truth, I feel. Yeah, Kiran, I agree with you. It's a sad reality because Adrian Luna has given a lot to this team. He's given a lot to this club. But at the moment, there is something missing, in my opinion, right? And that opportunity in the second half, where he gets the ball, he stops the ball, and then his shot hits waist. In the past, he would have taken a risk and would have tried to volley the ball, and most probably would have buried it. And that just shows you the lack of confidence, and everything around it, burden of being captain, everything around that, it's not working for him. And needs to be more coming from an Adrian Luna. But at the moment, I'm not sure if that's just simply possible, or if that's sort of something which doesn't work because Luna is in the form that he is at the moment. And Adrian Luna as a player needs that quality, needs that easiness of running, and it's at the moment it's just not there. It's very worrying, I would think, for the Blasters fans. New here, sir. How are you? Anshu, good. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this live. If you have any queries, questions on Indian football, any observations, more than welcome to make those comments and statements here in the chat, and we will either discuss it or we will mention it as well. Noah literally played like Liston today. Very harsh, Blue, but yeah, I guess let's see. To me, was not good enough today. Second point, how come Alex is coaching the senior women's national team and quite a few regular names not in scope, by the way, has Aditi Chauhan quit professional football? To answer your second question, no, Aditi is doing rehab, had a serious injury again, so therefore Aditi is doing that. And Alexanderson being the head coach of the women's team surprises me. He was working with the under-20s, and it seems like that he has been drafted in, so to say, to work also now with the seniors. Again, no proper communication from the AIFF, why or why not, but again, looks an interesting coach. Let's see what he can do with the women's team going forward. Man City finally won. Yes, Blue, from what I can see, live updates, Man City 2-0 win at Leicester City, and amongst the goal scorers, Erling Haaland. Meanwhile, in the other results, Crystal Palace leading 2-1 after 74 minutes. Everton 0-2 down to Nottingham Forest, who would continue their incredible season. Fulham, Bournemouth 1-1, two surprise teams. And Tottenham is leading 2-1 against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And in 45 minutes, or little less than 45 minutes, it's going to be West Ham United versus Liverpool FC in the later kickoff tonight. So that's the English Premier League for you. Luna, Petratos are off their prime. Team should move on from them now on, says Shivam. Looks like it. But Blue has an addition to that. Petratos still there till 2026. I don't know. I don't think he will go so early. That's another problem, right? So therefore, one will have to wait and see. So therefore, let's see what happens. Dimi Petratos, let's see if we can pick up in this season. As Gear says, welcome to the family. Anshu, Suraj, congratulations for 2K family. Thank you, Suraj. Yes, more than 2,000 subscribers now on the channel. So thanks a lot. As always, as I say, like, share, and subscribe here on arunfoot. If you like what you're seeing, your discussion, do like them. 7 likes so far on this video, and share it with other people. We're at 2,047. So we're growing slowly and steadily. And do watch the short videos. Did something today on something which we've been discussing a bit on this channel, on and off. Brian Williams, and I actually asked the question in the video, should Brian Williams play for India? For which I think, it should be, someone who's playing in the ISL, playing the way he's playing, would be surely a good addition. Look at the earlier videos as well. Why does the I-League have a winter break? Sunil's lovely gesture towards Sana Singh. FIFA FC stepping in maybe with the AIFF. So all those, have a look and enjoy watching videos here on the channel. Though I think he's just excess with the squad at the moment, especially without a foreign center midfielder, defensive midfielder. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if Mohun Bagan adjust or if they continue, or if they continue with the 6 foreigners that they currently have. So I heard somewhere that Tom Eldred was on his way to FC Seoul, but due to last moment fail, he had to sign for Mohun Bagan. Shivan, I heard something with South Korea. I'm not sure if it was Seoul, but yeah, could have been that his contract, he didn't get a contract in South Korea and then decided to switch and say, hey, listen, guys, I'm going to go to India. I know you've discussed the Hyderabad FC versus East Bengal situation. I think the referee was correct. Disclaimer, I'm an East Bengal fan. Uchut, thanks. To me, the question remains, what happened in that situation with Arshdeep Singh and Clayton. Now, if you see the situation, the goalkeeper is going up, punches the ball out, and goes fully with his knee up into the man, and then stretches out his leg and hits Clayton. Now, it's the goalkeeper zone. So to me, even though anywhere else, and that's the weird one, right? Some of these rules in football, sometimes maybe people might say don't make sense. Anywhere else on the field, if a player hit another player like that, it's a red card and he's off. Goalkeepers are, safeguarded from that a little. And to me, the question then was, there's no doubt he hits Clayton, right? There is that contact. He hits him here, and it's brutal. It looks brutal. So, but again, the ball is gone. So therefore, does he then can give a punishment after that? My understanding of the rules, no. And again, I know that there is these conspiracies and paranoia, sort of, I feel by now, from a certain section of East Bengal fans that, that the league is to get them and do not want them there. I think they should rather ask their coach, their officials, and their players why after scoring that goal, they didn't go for a second. That would be my question to the East Bengal contingent, right? Why didn't you go for a second goal? Why did you think, even though I also said in the live yesterday, I didn't think that Hyderabad is going to score a goal. I didn't see Hyderabad FC scoring somehow a goal yesterday, but they did score, right? So therefore, from that perspective, that's my take, Ochut, if you ask me how I see this. Don't you get bored while supporting football here for more than 2 decades without any happiness? Renal, I've had my moments with Indian football of happiness. 2011 Asian Cup being there, 2019 India beating Thailand. I was there when the ISL started. Been able to watch India play in the UK, in the Caribbean, in the Middle East. I think there's no other person in the world except me who's done that as someone or being part or has been able to watch. So therefore, I have had my happiness and my moments, but I'm also realistic of where we stand. In every league, Blues are second place. Chelsea in Premier League, BFC in ISL, Rangers in Scottish League, on my favour, second position. Let's hope of winning title. Let's see. Luna, Noah deserve another team. Pradeep, I don't know if they deserve another team. To me, again, Adrian Luna needs to get back to his best form. And we're talking about, as I repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, one of the best players that has plays in the ISL over the years, right? So therefore, Adrian Luna needs to be better. He's not at the moment. He's not better. And Noah Sadui, most probably with the right players around him, most probably could do more. But Noah also now needs to lead the team, right? He is one of the foreigners and seniors, and he needs to lead the Blasters. Let's see. Hi, Rushabh. Welcome back. How was the match? XYZ KG affair. If I want to be nice, I'd say KG affair because I felt there's nothing special in it. Jamshedpur had a clear-cut plan of not sort of giving too much space to their opponents. And on the other side, I would have said the Blasters in the first 15 minutes most probably could have scored a goal or two, but didn't. And thereafter, it was a lot of midfield action, a lot of attempts of counter-attacking football. But like most matches in this week, not anything special. I thought, again, the exception was Chennai versus BFC yesterday. I thought that was a really good game of football, entertaining football. So, yeah. As promised by you, will we now see some interviews where we can post questions to? Interviews, yes, it's planned. I just had a busy festive season. Haven't been able to actually set up a few interviews which I wanted to do. And questions, yes, I'll see once the people commit. Maybe I'll ask you guys to ask questions, and let's see if I can get them incorporated. Any updates on national team, Rishabh? Nothing that I know of at the moment. I think again, it's the ISL is on. No one is looking at the senior men's national team. Are Pakistan football players playing in Afghanistan? Aren't they at war? Origin, I have no clue. I don't think Pakistani players play in Afghanistan. I would know. Do you think Afghanistan and Syria will be competitive with war in their background? Can Pakistan and Myanmar surprise them? Syria has been at war, I don't know for how long, right? Afghanistan has been at war for over 2 decades. So I don't think that's a problem. Pakistan, Myanmar, yeah, why not? You never know who can surprise whom. Here, there's a fresh round of controversy in the AIFF. Oh, what should is it? I mean, AIFF and controversy at the moment, I think, go together, right? That's something which I've learned in the recent past that is something that is happening more and more, in my opinion. And we're not getting out of that mode. That the AIFF is sorting itself out, sorting its things out, taking it for Indian football in the right direction. Sadly, that doesn't happen too often, and that's, in my opinion, a huge problem with Indian football at the moment, and hopefully things are sorted. But at the moment, as I see, looks difficult with a lot of things, and yeah, that's how things are. I just learned Kerala Blasters FC gave Bangalore FC 25 lakhs for Danish. Yeah, I think Danish Farooq had a certain level of potential, and but again, he's not given the results. So therefore, you know, and yeah, they must have seen something in the player, no? Because otherwise, why would you do it, right? So for me, it makes it at the time it made sense for them to go and say, listen, you know what, we want this player, but yeah, he's not moved on to the next level. Suddenly with Simon, Shom, Hamza are Bangladesh favorites, upset India and Hong Kong. Arijit, let them come in, let them play. Again, it's March. We'll see what happens. How is Afghanistan youth teams qualifying for U20, U17, U20 Asian Cup when they don't have professional league or youth leagues? they're falling back on even at youth level to under the diaspora players, right? That's the big difference. So for me, yeah, those are the realities yeah, of the players, right? So that's how Afghanistan is making it. Any update about Kerala Blasters FC coach? I think they wanted to watch today. I think that's what I've heard. One second, I'll just get a supporter. The Blasters management, I think, was looking. Could they potentially use Thomas Schorsch and Purushottam, sort of say, as a short gap solution for the rest of the season before bringing in, but I guess they are going to look at now and finding someone in the next few days. As a Karabas FC fan, I want to watch one match without stress, at least against so-called struggling teams. Yeah, it looks like a tough one. Huh? The Blasters have had these kind of seasons. So yeah, let's see. Interesting to see what the Blasters do in the remainder of the season. Now with 14 matches played, they've got 10 more to go. How do the FAs of Afghanistan, Syria, and Palestine work well in their country? Conflicts are going on, yet they do better than us. I think there are means and ways of running a federation, be it at war, be it in a democracy, in an autocracy, in a monarchy, whatever form of the country. Football is something, so, they keep it running. And again, you mentioned 3 countries where the FAs fall back on a lot on overseas players, and especially Syria, from what I've heard, despite all the problems that were there, the Syrian league was most of the time running. Are there any Bhutanese player of Euro origin? No talks about Bhutan, Nepal in media, only Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. Bhutan, I don't know. Nepal have players in the lower level in Europe. I don't think Bhutan has any overseas players. And I mean, they used to have Chencho as a player who used to play in India. Used to played at Minerva, played at BFC, but I wouldn't know any Bhutanese origin player. I hope few players from Bengal, Kerala, Santosh teams are spotted by elite clubs. Yeah, let's see what they do. So when did AIFF announce new coach for senior women's team? The Swedish coach was for U20, right? I don't know. Alexandersson to me was under 17, under 17, under 20. And today suddenly they announce the squad and say they're training under him. And it looks also like that the senior national team is actually the under 23 with a few seniors, because he's called up a lot of under 20 players into the team. It's not all diaspora players, local youth is also playing. Yeah, XYZ. I'm not saying that they're all outstation players, but but again, those overseas players make the difference. Singapore lost to Vietnam beat side today. Okay, Origin. Jamshedpur FC at home has 18 points from 7 games, 1 more than BFC and 2 more than Molmagan Supergiant. Definitely the most. Yeah, that shows you home and away form of Jamshedpur. Huh? How many matches can interim coaches coach? Is there any rule? No. Theoretically, they could coach that until the end of the season. What's your views on naturalization? If there's a player talented enough who can bring that difference, if we allow origin, we should do this too, because all 210 FIFA recognized countries will. XYZ, as with PIOs and OCIs, if there are players that we want to naturalize and who are happy to be in India, who love India, why not? Right? It is on us. So that to me is not even a question. Thailand have always been good, but never considered Asian power. Are their most underrated Asian side, which is most underrated South side? Arijit, I don't know if the Thais are the most underrated side in Asia, and I don't know. South is so small. Who's an underrated side in South? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. I wouldn't. India are the biggies, and the rest are small teams in the South region normally, right? Google Earth, Baladevi, Manisha Kalyan dropped. I think Manisha is not there because of Greek season. The others, I don't know if they're fit, not fit. Again, there's no communication from the AIFF side of these things. It's surprising a country like North Korea follows proper FIFA rules and processes where we act like we are above all. Yeah, Babalu's animation, very, very well said. And that's, I think, the problem. It's not just for football; it's just in sports, right? I mean, that's how other countries, you know, that's the reality. Since you speak English, can you activate subtitles in your streams? Is that possible, XYZ? I would not. Let me just check once if I can activate subtitles. Is that an opportunity? Just one second. I'll just check for you while we speak. At least I don't see any options of activating subtitles here. Maybe you have to. I don't, if someone knows, let me know. I'll surely activate subtitles. Not a problem. Just as we never needed natural players in hockey, volleyball, basketball, even so, with largest population in the world, why can't we in football? Again, hockey, volleyball, basketball, I think we could bring in players of origin. We don't have leagues. Football is something of an anomaly in Indian sports, right? Because football has been having a league system or clubs and a system of, for more than a century, running across large parts of the country, which, for example, Hockey India League started yesterday. Volleyball has its short-term league. Basketball, supposedly next year a league is starting. So therefore, these comparisons don't work. So naturalization of players were there for a few weeks. First of all, not an option. But I know, for example, in basketball, if you would bring in some American-born Indian talent, I think we would be directly much, much better. But the question is, how would we integrate those players into our system? So that's the challenge, I think, for Indian football to get, for Indian sports to get origin players into these kind of sports, right? Even volleyball, I'm sure there are players in US academies. Actually, basketball national team coach wants origin players. Of course, he wants blues. You'll have players in American colleges at the lower level will be better than Indian national team players, just because these kids have been playing basketball since a very young age. So these are small little differences. Which have a huge effect. So therefore, from that perspective, should not be forgotten, in my opinion. Oops, sorry. Over 30 minutes already. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Anav Chaudhary. You are on arunfoot. If you haven't liked this video and like what you're seeing, what you're watching, do leave a like behind. 9 likes only so far, guys. I think we can do better. And if you think that this live is interesting maybe to other people as well, do share it with other people as well. And if you want to come back regularly, do leave a subscription behind. We're at 2,048 subscribers tonight. Thank you very much. And I'm just seeing in the back end, the video regarding Ryan Williams, should he play for India or not, has just reached 1,000 views. So thanks a lot as well for that. So that's been going a little viral today. We should take players of origin, whatever sport require it, and grow the sport in the country. Agree. 100%. So basketball just mentioned. Tennis would be a sport, most probably. Field hockey could be something to look at players from the UK, Europe, Australia, South Africa, maybe, I don't know. Swimming would be all athletics generally. There are multiple sports where we can take on. In USA, why do women always outperform men in soccer that popular among girls there? I told they're better than Brazil. Yeah, Brazil is nowhere near the US women's national team when it comes to football, and the US women are multiple time FIFA Women's World Cup champions. They don't outperform, them in all sports, but in football they do. And America grassroots level football is a huge thing. There was actually a professional basketball team competing in G League, which is just below NBA, called India Rising, and they did very well. Oh, interesting. Is football more popular than cricket in Australia? Yeah, I think so. I would think so. The football would be more, um, you know. So, do you think Mary Kom and Neeraj Chopra earn respect towards Indian international sports arenas or sports other countries doesn't take India seriously? I don't know if they take India more seriously because of those two or other athletes. India has a lot of respect, as hockey, for example. So I don't know. Not sure, Murali. I remember Uberai's sisters turning out for Indian Federation Cup tennis, and probably there was a lawsuit filed in Supreme Court to stop NRIs from representing India. One of the goalkeepers in the recent World Cup squad was an Indian US. Yeah, that was also the not an Indian US, a Canadian US. So yeah, it was there. Prakash Amritraj was another one, and yeah, we've harmed ourselves more than it's helped us. Because in USA the main sport is US football. It's not, call it US football, but it's American football. And football or soccer is not a main sport for men. They see it as a soft sport for kids and women. In the US, American football was not allowed for women in the 80s. That is why they took active interest in soccer, in brackets football. Thanks, Uchud, for that explanation. Yeah, so there are reasons why football is successful in certain parts of the world, why it's big in certain parts of the world, and why it's not big in certain parts of the world. It's very, very interesting always to see. So therefore, these are things which are, realities of things, of what's happening and what's not happening. But to me, football is the football, and it has been growing also in America, and it's growing day by day. So let's see where it takes us, right? So that's the challenge of football in itself. Do you think grassroots in America are different level? That's why they can outperform women's team. What about grassroots in Brazil? I don't know what grassroots women football is in Brazil like, but in America, as said multiple times, grassroots overall in sports is a huge thing. Ochut lives in the US. Ask him, how it is, or ask Shushmit when he comes. It is much bigger than here. How is domestic football in New Zealand rated? Can't India target that? What about A-League? These are easier than Saudi J-League or Korean or Chinese League, right? A-League will not. Again, why would a local team in New Zealand, in Australia, in other parts of Asia take an Indian player? That would be my first question. When you have a cap on foreigners, why would you take an Indian player? What did you? And New Zealand, New Zealand is below Australia, but again, Wellington Phoenix is a team which plays in the A-League. And on the other side, Roy Krishna, right? Good example. Fiji captain, we were speaking about him yesterday, was long-term Wellington Phoenix player, and then came to Atletico de Kolkata or ATK, and the rest, as I say, is history. Why Big Two in Kolkata might then ignore Bengali talents? Akash, because where are the talents? Right? They've given chances to players. Last season, I remember we're talking about Shayan Banerjee quite a bit. Where is Shayan Banerjee? We were speaking about Dipendu Biswas. We were speaking about, some other Raj Bashfor and all that stuff. The players don't step up, right? So we've discussed it a lot. So that's the real problem. I don't think that they are on purpose ignoring Bengali talent. I think they just don't rate them. The work rate, the commitment. I think they rate other players from other parts of India higher. If you see it, East Bengal, that's the reason why Pino George is there and brings in Keralite talent. And on the other side, if you see, be it East Bengal, be it Mohun Bagan, of course, there's a lot of respect for talent from the Northeast. One thing I understand is that Europe and Western, and there is development process, but we're aiming at high and world class, but no proper foundation. Yeah, right. Very well understood. How is Asian teams rated in women's football compared to USA, German, English? In the past, the Chinese used to be world class. Now it's more the Japanese. The North Koreans have had their phases, the South Koreans as well. So those are the top rated Asian sides in world football. And they are, at the moment, I would say that they know the USA are top, and then come the Europeans. But yeah, Asian sides have been amongst the best in the world. Every kid in US plays multiple sports. Their parents have done the same, and generations before that, Princeton universities don't for its academics, but they have also produced many Olympians. Thank you, Uchud. And that, guys, that's the point, right? America is, the system is different, and their focus is different, and therefore sports is a very important thing for them as part of their development and their curriculum. So therefore, the Americans utilize sports as a very important factor in their careers and their lives. So therefore, yeah, that's something which is different than from us in even in Europe or how it is in India. Do you think it's not right to over criticize players when they aren't giving the appropriate player education to reach the next level? What is over criticizing, right? That we would have to define that. I think criticism is allowed. The level of criticism, does it get too much? It can be, but at some stage, yeah, it's also, see, though we also allow the players to get away. We were talking yesterday about stardom, and or the day before, and the impacts on the players, and I feel that's another big problem. The players are superstars, rate themselves very, very highly, and the reality is we are nowhere near where we would need to be, right? And that's a real problem, in my opinion. That if we want to grow, we need to figure out how we gonna build, and at the moment it's very, very difficult to say how we gonna get to that next level, because the players are of that level. And yeah, who would you rate dark horse in women's football? Some of the smaller European nations, I would say. Yeah, Canada can be a dark horse. Brazil can be a dark horse. Sir, any incoming for Bangalore FC? Umair, at the moment, nothing that I'm hearing. There might be some outgoings at BFC, but I haven't heard anything with incomings. Be happy with how the national team is performing. Move on. If anyone cared, we would be something. That's a little harsh, but what is the importance of Santosh Trophy for AIFF? It will benefit if it under 21 level tournament. We have an under 21 level tournament, Sushanto. So therefore, it's senior level. It was senior level. It is senior level. So I don't know why there needs to be a change to that. Do you think Bangladesh and Nepal could upset world-class teams in women's football? No, Egypt, no chance. Do you think VIP culture should be abolished in India? Or if a person achieves certain things, can he get VIP treatment? Paul Morali, we've spoken about this. It is not something which I think is important, but again, it's part and parcel of life in India, so yeah, you have to accept it. Do you think the thing that made difference between local and OCI players is the quality player education the OCIs get? Yeah, of course. They have a different outlook to the world. They've learned football from a young age. Of course, it's different. Why India is unrated in beach soccer? How they qualify for Asia Cup? Did they win any SAF Cup, etc.? I don't know why they're unrated beach soccer, and there is no qualification for Asian beach soccer. So therefore, they just got in, and I don't know about any SAF competition. Would repeat, Indian women can do better than the men's national team if proper attention is paid. Yeah, very, very true, Achu. That is something. I think 2022 was a turning point where we, you know, where we in January hosted the tournament during COVID, and we were the team which had to leave the tournament because we had nearly the whole team having COVID, and that is a lost chance. What is the age limit of Santosh Trophy? There isn't any, you know. So, yeah, you can be. You can be 35 or 40 if you want to play in the Santosh Trophy. If you're picked. Well, I think if players like Narahari and Robbie have to play in lower divisions of Indian football, that's definitely a sign of ignorance from Big Two. Do you think that those two players are material for East Bengal and Mohun Bagan? Akash, they're nowhere near. Even if I was working at those two clubs, I wouldn't sign them. They were nowhere near that level. They would play for the reserves max in the CFL. They would never get into the first team. Bengal versus Kerala and Santosh Trophy final, your reaction? It's the cat. Yeah, to me, two of the best states when it comes to state level football meeting again. Have a long history of interesting, exciting encounters. So let's see who's going to win it. Do you think continuous failure leads lost in confidence, mental tiredness leads to poor performance? You first of all, you have to have the confidence to win. Now, if you're used to not even winning, you know, let's see. Why can't all regional champs in Asia be granted qualification? What's the point of so many associations then? The regional championships are not linked to Asian qualification origin. There's no interlink. Then what is the advantage of Santosh Trophy? It's a state level tournament. The states are getting to play. High notes to myself. Don't you think that Clayton has an unnecessary tendency of chasing about blindly, causing a collision with the keeper where others restrain themselves, keeps the keeper to be accused? Interesting observation. Yeah, could be. If you want to see it from that side, yes. I think there are strikers who go for lost causes, but they know when the cause is lost and then they sort of turn around, right? So therefore, for me, that's always a question. So who even watches Santosh Trophy? Is it even relevant? I don't know who's watching it. Is it relevant for the AIFF? Surely it is still relevant for the state association as well. How does team like Sierra Leone produces players like Juma of Adelaide? Sierra Leone is not producing it, right? The players have come through somehow the system. They come through despite of the system. See, you focus on the system. If you don't have a system, the players somehow, if they're good enough, they make it. India versus Brazil, is it significant? Who is Anjita playing in India then? For Brazil, no. If India play Brazil or Argentina, of course it will be relevant for us. In US, kids start sport at 2.5 years, while school starts from 5 years. In India, is it opposite? That shows how we view sports as society. Very good. Very true. Is Vishnu leaving East Bengal? Guardiola, I don't know. I said it before, we'll say it again. Big Two are losing their local identity. Very upset about this. Akash, yeah, but the question is, where is the Bengali? Are you wanting that there's a quota for Bengali players because the clubs are based in Kolkata? Right? They're looking who's the best. They are looking to be the best in India, and they are, taking players from around the world. Is there any update on OCI PAO players? IS Wala, nothing's going to happen so quickly, right? So if you expect things to happen in a short period of time, this will take time. So this will take time, and it will not happen so quickly. So for me, there are no updates. I've just thrown, again, if you haven't seen it, I've thrown a question today into the mix, asking question if Ryan Williams of BFC should be considered, who's of course been playing quite well. In India, state FA a huge issue because certain state doesn't conduct league properly due to power fight, which kills the player from that state. I guess you're saying there is even not a power fight. Sometimes it's just that the state association doesn't do anything. That's the problem, right? You always think that there are some states where nobody bothers even about the state association. How realistic do you think is Shan Hundal to Mohammedan? Not sure, Roshan. Guten Abend. First of all, they've spoken, they've exchanged things. Let's see if Mohammedan can make him an offer where Shan which Shan wants to accept and would like to go. Let's wait and see. So at the moment, no confirmation so far, but let's wait and see what happens. Someone you would have wanted to see coach the national team, anyone? Or XYZ, there are a few people, but I'm not going to throw as, throw names into this mix. How San Marino improved so much? Can't India invite San Marino to SAF Cup? Can India beat them? San Marino hasn't improved that much. I mean, why do you think San Marino has improved that much? It's just that statistically they've won more matches than ever before in their lives. They play against the weakest teams in Europe, and I would normally think India should be beating them, yes. How football world rates lower tier African countries than other Asian counterparts? Africa produces talent, Asia doesn't. Very simply said, that's why they rather go to a small African country than to some of the top Asian countries. Big Two are losing identity because they're also called birthplace of Indian football. Best talent produces Shubhashish Bose. Yeah. When I look at Stephen Dyer's cross, it's just insane. How do you rate current winger? Onali, they're not that good. What is Goenka's vision apart from winning shield or trophy? Ashish, what's the vision of the club officials? If you want to talk about Mr. Goenka, what did Devashish Dotto recently say? I don't care about grassroots. I don't care about youth football. I only care about winning. And we care about the first team. Don't put it on him. Ask the questions to an official. Ask the question to the club officials. They've been around for 100 plus years. What have they done for 100 plus years at the big three? Ask them the questions, right? If Mr. Goenka wasn't there, then these players that you see wouldn't be there. And Mohun Bagan would be having the same financial issues with East Bengal, looking for someone to pump money into them every 2-3 years. Be realistic in these things. Did I am Vijayan go abroad? No, Murali didn't. I don't see any academy or any other grassroots development from Goenka. Akash, did he say that he's going to do that? Did he commit to that? Listen, I would rather put the blame on the management. I would rather put the blame on the people running the club rather than put the blame on the guy who's putting in the money. If you see the amount of money that Mr. Goenka has put in, yeah. Should Mohammedan Sporting try Delhi Ali's market value is 5 crore now? Why would Delhi Ali come to Mohammedan Sporting? Why would he come to the ISL at the moment? Maybe he's down the road, I don't know, but why has UEFA Nations League destroyed football? Is it helping teams like San Marino? So where does this come from? Why has the Nations League destroyed football? It's added. It's a different competition. It's added something, and for San Marino, it's been a big boost. Is boxing big in Germany? Did they produce a player like Marikom, Vijender Singh? Yeah, boxing is big. We've created boxing pros. I mean, these are Olympic champions, but Murali, these are in boxing terms. No disrespect to these guys, but they're amateurs, right? Vijender Singh didn't make it as a pro. Are they anywhere near than the biggest boxers in the world? No, they aren't. In Goa, many people have dual citizenship. Why this can't happen in India? Many people have Portuguese and Indian dual citizenship. Boy, no one has it. the Goans could take up Portuguese citizenship hand in Indian citizenship. So India does not allow dual citizenship. If a FIFA AFC says relegation management answer, should they follow or have the chance to appeal? They will have to follow. Do you think you expect too much from Indian football in terms of administration, grassroots development, or performance? Yes, I do. Because my standards are higher. And I guess Indian football as a whole doesn't fulfill my standards. It's too low. It doesn't get to the standards that I would like Indian football to be in. That's a sad reality of where we stand today, right? That's where we are. My hope would be that we would be better, but we aren't. We aren't getting there where I would love Indian football to be, where I think it should be, right? And it's a struggle. It's a huge struggle, but yeah, let's wait and see if we can move on in the right direction. Hamza was a key player in Leicester. Why has become insignificant now? Orijit, there are ups and downs of players, right? At the moment, it seems like he's not a first 11 player. He was a substitute today against Man City, and that's the reality of football. Hi, Mayank. I'm good. What's your mid-season review of ISL? Things are going on expected lines. Huh? The biggies are slowly going towards the top. We had a lot of surprises, and I said that yesterday. I'm surprised at the mediocre quality and mistakes and the dependence on the foreigners. So, that's something. That's something which for me is worrying, very, very worrying. Dele Ali to Mohammedan, what a joke. What a thinking. This is Indian football. Yeah, Shomolo, this is something, people look up values on Transfermarkt, and then you make suggestions. And again, Transfermarkt or transfer market, as you call it, is a nice platform to make comparisons. But again, I don't think comparisons make sense. How much is important a good ecosystem in football? Very important, Renner. Very, very important. But again, you still can be successful in football despite of the system. It is the success of sports in India. Ego said, my job is not to produce strikers, it's the job of clubs and system, but we play with foreigners in key positions. Morally, his job is not to produce strikers, but his job is to find, or was to find, to find solutions. If you don't have strikers, or you're not producing strikers, you need to find solutions to that position, right? And that is something which they weren't able to do. Sorry. So that's the challenge, in my opinion, that we have in Indian football, right? That we need to find solutions to issues, to problems, and we're unable to do that. And that is something which is there. So therefore, hopefully, we can find solutions in the national team whenever we have problems with certain, problems in positions. Indian boxers don't even care about professional boxing. They only want government jobs. That's also a problem. Not only boxing, I think, in Indian sports blues. What is the latest update on the former coach of Dortmund? Something, Mr. That. Notes to myself, he wasn't coach of Dortmund, but he was coach of Leverkusen, Freiburg, and Werder Bremen. Technical director also of the German FA. You're talking about Robin Dutt, currently doing a lot of things on German television, and he was up to, at some stage last year, coach in Austria. Where do you think Indian football national should be, where you would feel happy? Ideally, we would be having, a proper league. I would have liked us to have a proper league running, 18, 20 teams, good second tier, good structure below, that the pyramid works with a proper interconnect between state, local football, and national level football, a running youth system, successful national teams in men's and women's level, and if yeah, men's and women's qualifying for the World Cup, that would make me really happy. So yeah, that's something that I would say that would work. Hype of Saudi League has gone so quickly. Has it gone? I know enough friends who actually follow it now who would have never thought of following it earlier. So I think the real football fans have started to follow the Saudi Pro League, and I think that's the main thing. You said pro boxing. What do you mean by that? Pro boxing has no future in it compared to other parts of the world. You said they are nowhere near. I don't understand. They're professional boxing. Mary Com. So boxing amateurs box at the Olympics, right? And we have rarely. Vijendra tried to be a pro boxer, but didn't. Like the South Asian origin boxer Amir Khan in the UK. What is the situation of Rahul Kepe? Do you think he needs a new club or a bad season? Shomolo, now he joins my list of wingers where you never know, is he going to play a good match? Is he going to play a good season? Sadly, I expected more from him, to be very, very honest. But I think I would have said moving would have made sense. But the question is, moving to another club, yeah. Is there any semi-professional Indian diaspora club in Germany? There is an amateur club in Hamburg, as the only one which I know. But otherwise, no, I don't know any Indian. There's no Indian other football team in Germany. Nikolai said Aman Chetri is such a good player, but he had problems of transition and form lost, made him psychologically down. Playing him less time field, he was a good player. Yeah, but again, if you don't perform, and again, he broke his leg also. What's your opinion? Molina is a good manager or a good coach? I think he's a good manager rather than a good coach. Notes to myself. What do you think of Neeraj Goyal fighting Jake Paul? Don't know Neeraj Goyal or Goyat. I tried to watch Saudi League last year. Good football, but apart from Saudi state-owned clubs, all are. Yeah. That's the reality. Oh, already over 1 hour, 20 of you watching. If you haven't, do leave a like behind. And 11 likes only today, guys. I think we can do better. And as always, we're trying to grow. 2051 people now subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. And watch the short videos. As I see the Ryan Williams question video is going through the roof at the moment. Thanks for that. And keep on being here. Keep on supporting the channel. And thanks a lot for that. Sir, do you remember Rahul's goal against Republic of China with that flash run? That moment gave us goosebumps. Yeah. Rahul KP. My thing is with Rahul KP is that we've seen again and again, but in rare instances in the ISL for the youth national teams, what he's potentially capable of. But again, we talk about consistency, about performance. It's not there. And then, of course, we have situations like that Luka Machin foul, which, again, the complete error of judgment of what to do. But, but that's something what you wish for in front of Genie, that sort of thing, don't you? Don't think all you said will ever happen. XYZ, you said in a best case scenario, right? That would be the best case scenario. But again, I know, we know that we're quite far away from that, but that's something which I would like to see. It's not there. Again, the hope is the thing that dies last, I think, as they say in German. And that's it. Do you think what can be budget of a CFL or Delhi Soccer League team? CFL, the bigger ones are spending in crores. The smaller ones are trying to spend between 20 and 50 lakhs. Do you think Irfan ever proved you or not enough? Not enough, Murali. He's doing well, but I think, so that's something which is, he's gone in the right direction, but yeah. Winning an Olympic medal in boxing is a greater achievement than winning a WBC IBO belt at pro level. Turbo, that might be your opinion, but if you ask people who work in the boxing world, and I've had the pleasure of having gone to the one or the other boxing fight, and we were talking about this, they would always say that winning a pro fight is more valuable. We've even had pro fights here in Remscheid. A friend of mine here in Remscheid is a boxer, and he will tell you, yeah, Olympics was nice, but pro boxing is more important. Biggest punch in the gut was Bayern Munich losing 2012 Champions League final to Chelsea at home. Yeah, this was it. If you lose a match because the opponent is better, it's fine. But losing the way they did, yeah, very, very disappointing. I'm disappointed with Indian players in ISL because of their inconsistency of form. Yeah, Sanjay, I think all of us are. All of us who want Indian football to be successful, Indian football to be better, will think and say, you know what, Indian football is not as good as it needs to be, right? And that is something which I feel is a bit of a problem, and it's not Indian football. That's part of the problem, that Indian players need to be better overall, and that's not happening at the moment. People say Olympic boxing judges are biased. For that I don't know enough about boxing to be able to say if they're biased or not. I do not know. What about JJ? I think he was lethal with his chances compared to today's midfielders. Decision making was good. He was a striker, and he was a good striker, but again, a knee injury, Murali, cut short his career. That's the reality. Bring back Sunil. Yeah, XYZ. I think, looking at him, the way he was running around for 90 minutes, the way he scored the goal. Sunil, there needs to be a discussion about Sunil Chhetri. Sunil Chhetri can and should be brought back to the Indian national team. I think it's high time that we have that conversation, because Sunil has been playing so well. It's something that we need to look at and think about. At least I think that should be the case. Most of the Indian kids get info about sports on Instagram, other social media. That's the biggest problem. Agree, Akash, very big problem. It's not an Indian problem. It's a global phenomenon. It's like WhatsApp being for elder people, or Facebook or whatever. There's this Instagram generation. There's the Snapchat generation. There's others, of course, in other parts of the world. We would say TikTok generation. So yeah, facts are not facts anymore, right? Going to next year with 0 win for the national team this year. Very, very disappointed. Very bad year this year with football, and also for us traveling fans. Yeah, Shumullah. I mean, what to say? It is as it is. I think that it was a very bad year, and the AIFF, the new AIFF, got fooled by Mr. Steamach, in my opinion. I still stick to that. So therefore, and for Manolo, it's been very tough. Where should India's FIFA rank realistically, if I think below 180, 170? I think I've said 125 to 150 would be where I would rate them. To you, which probability is more, East Bengal in top 6 and East Bengal in not top 6? After yesterday, dropping 2 points, not in top 6. Yesterday, I think those 2 points could hurt them. Do you think winning pro boxing is difficult compared to Olympics? Because in Olympics, they compete against best across the world. I think competition is stiff. You're not competing against the best in the world, because the best are pro boxers. So you're not competing against the best. And you have X number of boxers from a country, right? So So I've heard an interview with Vasil Lomachenko, one of the best boxers of this generation. He rates his Olympic gold above his professional achievement. True, there might be boxers saying this, but again, I speak to the guys who work in boxing, and they will tell you Olympics. I know even people who've gone to the Olympics, and their aim was, you know what, Olympics is a starting block, but for me to become professional is more important. I watched today's game between Jamshedpur FC and Kerala Blasters. I like the pace of the game by Jamshedpur, but we need to get rid of that break at 75th minute. You like the pace? What pace? Akash, did I miss something? Sunil, when Manolo asked him, really, after all I did, let me go, I have suffered enough. I don't think so. I found one problem also is that coaches are not grooming Indian players, rather just filling the first 11. Sanjay, the problem is with a lot of ISL coaches that I don't think they have the opportunity. You know, someone was telling me the other day, you know what, they need to work on the basics. When the season is on, do you think the coaches have enough time of working with the players on the basics to, you know, to get them, make them better? Again, it's either learn to swim, you know, you're thrown into the water, either you learn to swim or you drown. That is what the ISL is, professional. And that's not just in India, it's around the world. It's around that at the top level, right? Because top teams, top clubs, even smaller teams at the top level, for them, it's about survival. And, you know, let's say last season, Hyderabad was forced to play Indian 11s because 11 players or a whole squad of Indian boys plus Joao Victor because there was nobody else there. But now they've got the foreigners. Now then the others move out. But they're not better than them, right? Even though the foreigners are not the greatest, but they're still better than them. Thoughts about Chandrashan coaching now final with Bengal? Shomo, he's been with young youth players, he's been very good. So, yeah, Chandrashan has done his things. What about the chance of East Bengal in knockout stage of the AFC Challenge League? Are they current run in ISL after their current run? Wellesian, I think that they are much more settled, stronger. But the question now is what happens with their foreign contingent? Because with 4 foreigners, they will not be able to compete at that level. They will need 2 more foreigners. Mahdi Talal is out. Then the question is what is with Saul Crespo? Does Clayton Silver stay? You know, that's another question. So there are a lot of these questions here and there, but I'm not sure if it's working or not. But yeah, will have to be looked at. Only ISL coach I saw who worked in basics was Manolo Hyderabad. Lou, I think there have been some coaches they've worked. Des Buckingham has done it. Peter Kratky to some extent has done it, but they can't do it the whole season. Yeah, you know, and there have been others as well who worked on it. Yeah, so Lobera has done that work with certain boys that he's now been working with in Goa or in Mumbai or now in Odisha. So there are boys, there are coaches who do that. You guys stop this boxing talk. Indian football has been knocked out for 50 years and hasn't woken up. Hope it rises up before the count is over. Yeah. XYZ, again, try to give my little to non-existent expertise on boxing as well. Hyderabad is really moving to New Delhi, Hyderabadi Delhi FC. Akash, at the moment, looks like it, but I think the Telangana government will try and keep the team in Telangana. I think that's what their efforts and will be. But yeah, for again, BC Jindal, from their logistical standpoint, it makes sense. But from a football standpoint, I would rather say Hyderabad makes more sense than Delhi because Delhi to me has been a failed football location so far. International football versus club football, which is more high level? I think normally across the season you will say always club football rules, but if you then have international big tournaments and take out the FIFA windows and the qualifiers, I say World Cup, European Championships, Copa America, Asian Cup, African Cup of Nations, whatever it's Oceania Cup and whatever, CONCACAF World Cup, all of that is more important. Funny enough, Arkadak don't have a single foreigner, same as Altin Nasir. It should be embarrassing for East Bengal if they get knocked out, get KO'd. Rishabh, those two teams are settled teams, right? So they're not pushovers. So let's wait and see. I mean, it's the foreigners that are running that East Bengal run AFC Challenge League. Indian players aren't doing nothing, yeah. What about your thought, KC recently regarding Kolkata postponement? Let's wait and see. I've heard about it, but let's wait and see. It's the failure of ISL coaching staff that they're not producing international quality players even after 11 years. I don't think so. To me, Sanjay, the work needs to be done at the grassroots and at the youth level. Normally, you have a finished product where you give finishing touches to a player and then take him to the next level. If so therefore, as I say, when you swim, you're thrown in a pool, you know something. Yeah, that's it. Today, an MLA from Kerala fell from 20 feet from temporary VIP stand of JLN. Is JLN Kochi safe? Blue, my first question is the person safe? The point is how is that temporary VIP stand built? How are this again? Javier Shepi raised, who was the CEO of the Under 17 World Cup. Javier raised a lot of points on that and hospitalized. Okay, so therefore for me, that stadium has not been safe for a decade. So if you ask me, I would have always said there is a need for normally you should need to build a new stadium in Kochi. That stand broke. Oops. Imagine Hyderabad, Delhi wins ISL only in India. Well, who knows? Club football by far. XYZ, as I said, during the season, yes, but during World Cup, during Euros, other continental competitions, it is international football. Can we say India's powers in boxing? Not at all. Not at all, Murali. Well, nearly 80 minutes on this Sunday night, on a night that Jamshedpur FC beat the Kerala Blasters 1-0 to move into fourth position for the moment in the ISL. So that's a big achievement for the Steelmen. On the other side, the Blasters with another loss. A lot of questions in regard to who could, who would, who will coach them going forward. And on the other side, the question regarding what happens with certain players in that Blaster squad. The questions, and interesting to see. I think after tonight, there will be a foreign coach coming in, and let's see what happens there. Your thoughts on Edmund Rarinfela? Rishabh, Rarinfela, nah. Edmund always has had potential. Now he seems to be becoming consistent. Let's hope that stays. Do you think South Korea can compete the European giant? Your thoughts? Morally, sometimes they might, sometimes they might not. Who knows? JFC always showing promise. Yeah. Chomo, we've had a lot of these guys. We've spoken about it, right? Promise, and then after some time, tada bye-bye. If you throw a non-swimmer into a pool, he will learn to survive, but he will never become a Phelps. Yes, but Sanjay, if you this is one thing which I don't understand. If we have the situation that we throw people in the pool and someone is really talented, he might not become Michael Phelps, but he can still go on to become an Olympian, in the sense of, that is what I'm missing in Indian football. I don't see that young standout player where I say, that there is something. It's like, for example, Kuru was spoken a lot about. He was there today, one or the other nice pass, but anybody else could have played in that position. Tachikawa, another underrated foreigner in ISL. His work rate, passing, shooting, top notch. Yeah, but needs to be flagged. One other occasion, a little more clinical. As an Indian fans, can't we put Indian jerseys on Argentine national team players? At least we still get to see great football in national team jerseys. XYZ, won't happen, right? Where do you place Urawa Red compared to Inter Miami? I don't watch Urawa Red modality to know where they stand against Inter Miami. Do you think Edmund is played more like a second striker, like Irfan can score some goals? Yeah, it's a question of how do you utilize him. Again, the question is also, all these players are as good or as bad as the foreigners next to them, right? So therefore, that's always a question. East Bengal, again, doing mistake by recruiting foreigners without Indian experience. Middle of season, they should go for some ISL experience. Shomo, let's see what they do. Talent development problem not only in football but other sports also. Yes, Monoli, 100%. Indian Super League is downgrading. ISL clubs had recruited third, fourth division foreign players. Knowledge is everywhere, but they're still better than our players, right? Top level players, the amount of money you will have to give them, will they come? Do they want to come? That's always a question, right? So therefore, that's something which is a challenge. But to me, we have to take the players who are willing to come to India, and that's not always the cream de la creme. Your thoughts on Santosh Trophy final, Bengal versus Kerala? Kerala is full of East Bengal reserve players. Deb, I have not seen one game of the Santosh Trophy, so I am not in a position to give a judgment. Can we say badminton, hockey, wrestling, javelin, India's power was a long way to go? Hockey, yes, and the rest I wouldn't. I wouldn't know. Javelin, I don't know. Javelin, you've got one world-class javelin. Are you then a powerhouse? I'm not sure. You would have to have 3, 4. I'm not sure. Again, wrestling, I know, and badminton, I don't know enough to be able to say that. Right? That's always the problem with with powerhouse or not. I think India powerhouse is one thing where India is a powerhouse, and that's cricket. Right? Everything else is a possibility or a potential likelihood, but everything else is not there at that level. Let's put it this way. So therefore, that's something which we, if we want to or not, we would have to accept. Right? That's something about Indian sports. I saw some games. The quality of Santosh Trophy is so pathetic. Yeah, that's blue. I mean, if we're having problems watching the ISL, if we're having problems watching the I-League, then and the Santosh Trophy is below that level, then the standard will be lower. And I think a lot of people in the past didn't know what the standard of the football that was being played in India was, because there was no broadcast, there was no streaming, right? So therefore, a lot of people got away, Please tell us what the problem for bottom 5 ISL tables in short. Quality of foreigners. Simple as that. The foreigners decide how good or how bad you are. Mohammedan Sporting, not working foreign set of players. Hyderabad FC, not working foreign set of players. East Bengal have had injuries of common. Blasters, foreigners are not working. Chennai, Ryan Edwards yesterday not there. You saw foreigners, without the foreigners, the team is not working. So therefore, that's very simple, in my opinion. Any player leaving SAF are better than our players. Who is leaving SAF? Around XYZ. How do you see racism in football against the country? Because I see you people criticize India hygiene. I don't know. I don't know what the hygiene topic is about. Morally, don't know. There is racism in football, and even within India, you know. And Ixwa says that ignore its clickbait and farming views. Which ILE club do you think has the money to survive in ISL? Intercastion, Gokulam Kerala, and Trinidad Deccan. Javier Hernandez play style was brilliant. Yeah, Murali, but he is at the moment not of the level that he was in the past. Captain of Jamshedpur FC, but today wasn't good enough, and that's a problem, right? That's a problem with him, with the others as well. And yeah, Indian football is where it is at the moment, right? So therefore, to me, it's a big topic, and we are nowhere near where we should need to be. It's a big problem. It's a big problem for Indian football, and Javier Hernandez is another example. He's past his prime as well. It looks like at the moment. Coaching at the grassroots level is a problem in almost all sport in India except cricket, hockey, and to an extent wrestling. Togo, yes, but I've also been told that in cricket it is also sometimes in some states a problem. So, cricket is very often glorified, but grassroots coaching did not, that is something which is also a fact. If Gokulam Kerala or Trinidad they can get promoted, wouldn't they have to rename their clubs? In theory, yes, because we've seen that with Roundless Punjab, so that would have to happen, Rushabh. Trivellaro, what made him different from rest of midfielders? His technical abilities and his vision. Football brain, football intelligence, lovely player, Morali. In his prime, again, I would have to say, right, towards the end, was also not that useful for Chennai FC. So that's also a reality with these players, Right, nearly 1 hour and 28 minutes, but Jamshedpur FC doing business in proper shape, good crowd in every home game, very good community connect, sustainable team building. There should be proper use case for aspiring Indian clubs. Shomo, I don't think that, because you know why? Because you're forgetting that the Tata Group is behind them, and that does help. They have one advantage. They're based in Jamshedpur. Jamshedpur doesn't have too many entertainment options like other places, so that's already an issue. And yeah, a lot of people are getting free tickets via Tata, so therefore Tata Steel rather. So that's what it is, and therefore I don't think they're a test case for other ISL clubs. Look at the condition of cricket stadium grounds, pathetic. Yeah, someone sent me a screenshot today about that free water was being provided at a ground in Australia. Don't know what it is, where it is. And, these are all topics which in India, of course, is always a problem. At least when India loses, gets global attention because of big Twitter handles clowning every Indian, at least AIFF encompasses globalized. Does anybody care? Does the AIFF care what is happening on social media? I don't think so. I mean, any players outside South region are better than us. Acha, that way, yeah. It was it. I now understood what you meant. What is the problem of Chennai, in your opinion? Owen got almost all players he wanted. He was very happy after transfer, and now he's saying he needs better players. I think he realized that the players he wanted are not good enough, right? And Gurkirat has not stepped up. Kian has not stepped up. Jiteshwar has not stepped up. Jitendra has not stepped up. All these players that we talked about, yeah. I mean, let's quickly go. Irfan Yadwat came last year, right? So that is a player that has done better than we would have said in the past. But otherwise, all the players have sort of been stuck at the level that they've been in the past. So that's, I think, the biggest problem. Let me just quickly go through the players of Chennai FC. 1 second. Here we have the squad, right? Elzinho, yeah, until he got injured, did his job. Kian Nasiri, for the talent that Kian hasn't convinced me. Jitendra has played minimal. Wilmer Jordan Gill has been amongst the goals, but again, on and off. Mohamed Nawaz has become number one. Mandar Odessa, yeah, on and off. Irfan Yadwar came last season, did well. The big positive surprise was Lalrin Liana Namte, who's done very, very well and scored a goal yesterday. Vignesh has not been a factor. Jiteshwar, as I said, last season, great, has not had much of time. Vinci Barreto, last season had a good season. This season still hasn't found his footing. Brambilla has done well in patches. So Gurkirat has not played any major role, and Edwin Wanspal also not. So again, these are all, then we add up and then we see where they are. My question is why AIFF is not planted a city like Jamshedpur over random Punjab club. AIFF and whatever the marketing aspects are totally failed. Why should the AIFF prioritize Jamshedpur over a random Punjab club? I mean, Shoma, explain me what you mean. AIFF should implement a new rule that would require clubs to rename themselves who have corporate names in their club. Who would support such a team or would have any connection to the club? It was discussed many years back, but then a lot of corporates said they would pull out, and therefore the AIFF did not implement that rule. I don't watch cricket, neither understand, but infrastructure is pathetic without IPL money. That sport will collapse. I couldn't say yes or no. How do you see the national team in 2025 with Molo at the helm and its changes to the squad affect? Well, then, at the moment, I don't see any changes because I will not talk about changes because the change discussion comes in February, March. If let's say certain players are playing, but I'm not sure. This group is very, very tough. Very, very not tough. It is very tricky, and we have not won a game. And so we're not in a winning habit. So all these factors, the way the team is played, Sunil is not there. So that's the first question. Exactly my question, what I intend to ask. Coyle got every kind of support in terms of player recruitment, but he built team of only strikers, no purpose. He central midfielders. He has central midfielders, says CDM. Now we were talking through the list. He's got enough. And Namte is the standout player. Elzinho and Namte as a defensive midfield combination is amongst the best in the league theoretically if they play together. The problem is that the attacking players that have been brought in or the players who are supposed to put pressure on the players, that has not worked. That would be rather the question at Chennai FC. Which Indian player do you think has the ability to do better in lower divisions of foreign leagues? Most probably Changte and Apuya. And then it becomes tough. Look at Ranglas Punjab. I would say they are at Indian football for the last 5 years, but they have hardly 500 fans. They do not proper stadium as well. Will it be sustainable next 10 years? Answer will be no. Shoma. And this shows you don't understand what this is all built on. If your sustainability is your criteria, then no club will survive Indian football. Nobody should be investing in Indian football. Sustainability in Indian football doesn't exist. I think that's one of the big things that one has to talk about. Sustainability does not exist in Indian football or in Indian sports, rather, I should say, right? Outside of cricket, there is no sustainability. What Roundgrass has created is nice. I would have done certain things differently if I was still there. So, yeah. I thought Chennai FC will win yesterday's match. They stopped trying after the third goal. But Akash, to me, BFC looked better. BFC looked more mature. And Chennai is like some other teams, like the Blasters against BFC or against Mohun Bagan, where they had their moments, but they couldn't pull through. Is SAF Championship, happening in 2025? Supposedly in the summer, after the qualifiers is supposed to happen. Just 1 second, guys. Sorry, I just have to quickly do something. Where was I? SAF Championship was the last question. But look at Aizawl of Shing, even though they are playing second division, they still attract decent support. Yes and no. Have you recently seen how many people watch Aizawl FC matches? I think that big support, again, this is an up and down thing. Shillong Lajong seems to be in. If you look at them a few years ago before they got relegated, they weren't drawing the big crowds. So this is an on and off thing with and the support base of a club doesn't define how big or how small you are. My favorite example on that front was and is or are the Goan clubs. How many fans have been watching Dempo Sports Club? How many fans have been watching Churchill Brothers or Salgaonkar or even Sporting Club de Goa? Very neutral name, right? Sporting Club de Goa could be something, and it hasn't worked. For the corporate part, it feels stupid to refuse to rename. They don't make money. Anyway, at least have a unique name would attract fans, probably earn a little. Earn what? From whom? See, the logic of other parts of the world cannot be transferred to Indian football. That is something that you guys need to understand. Why did Rangers Punjab pay the franchise fee? They could have built a permanent training facility. Because for the franchise fee, they are part of the sponsorship pool, and that covers the franchise fee. Very simple. And a permanent training facility is something that they would love to build, but there's been the issue of land. It is not so easy in an Indian context. In theory, everything is easy, hunky-dory, whatever. To do stuff in India, even if you have the money, the will, the manpower, the knowledge, is very, very difficult sometimes. Why do Indian players not come in ISL where big football academy are if they are GFing many more football academy over there? What is the problem? Quality. Standard of what is coming through from the lower levels. I meant to say without fan or without owner passion, no football club will survive in long run. The Goan clubs have been surviving for 50, 60, 70 years. And the owner passion is something which is there, right? And even the ISL clubs surviving 10 years, given the realities of things, I think I would give them a big compliment for that. Sorry. Yeah, that's the case. Jananasi attack isn't working. They were good at the start defensively, but with injuries, that defense fell off. Yeah, well, that's the problem. Would be weird to say I'm more excited for SAF Championship than March qualifier. The SAF countries are more serious about football than ever before. Yeah. Good. Why not, right? But for me, Asian Cup qualification, Asian Cup qualification for me is much more important. If you ask me, that would be the key for us in the coming period. That's the key for me, that we need to qualify for the AFC Asian Cup. That's it. So due to lack of center midfield players, Coyle did not have any backup plan. Instead of playing direct football, they failed to control most of the ISL games. Could be seen that, but he likes to play direct. Dada, Dempo, Church Brothers have passionate owners, but I don't think same case will be for Round Punjab FC or HS Hyderabad FC owners. See, and this is, I can say that the Round Glass owner is very, very passionate about it because I've worked for him. Hyderabad FC, I don't know. But they wanted an I-League team as well. So there is some sort of level of passion. I know that a lot of people said, listen, the ISL owners will not stay. They will leave. And a lot of people have been hanging around now for the 11th season. And they've lost in hundreds of crores. Let's not forget that. Anyways, Owen doesn't play like that. That's the fact. Did Mohammedan pay the franchisee fees? No, Akash. As far as I know, no. Same will be for Interkashi. I guess Interkashi is backed by RDB Group. I have big thought how long RWB will burn money on Interkashi FC. RWB is not big like our PSG or JSW. Or there are other people behind Interkashi Shumo, and they are there for the long run. Happy to see South nations except India understood the global representation of football. Yeah, Akash. Do you think the PSG group has done a good job investing in Bagan, and in return, what are they getting from ISL? Shivam, if you think about it, if you think at the numbers, Mr. Goenka has invested hundreds of crores into what was Atletico de Kolkata, what became ATK, what then became ATK Mohun Bagan, and what is now Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Return on investment for him? No. Okay. He's lost a few hundred crores. In cricket, spending X times more, you get money back. You earn revenue. That's the difference. But he still does it. That's why I think we should give more credit to the owners of the football clubs across the board. Right? And there needs to be a little bit more respect also, I feel, for the owners of ISL teams. I know that certain people of I-League clubs are made demigods, but I don't want to know how they operate and how they run sometimes. Right? So that's also reality. What do we do after lucky qualification, get battered by every team in the group and then head home? XYZ, for a reality check, that might not be bad, right? We got that reality check in January. Things didn't happen. Maybe in 2027, things would be different. But we need to be at the Asian stage, because otherwise, who will take us seriously in the global football world? And then if we're talking about Indian players moving abroad, if we're not even getting to the AFC Asian Cup, nobody will look at us. What are the benefits of giving franchisee fee? The original clubs or the original franchisees had to pay it, but you're part of the central sponsorship pool. What is the negative consequence of not paying franchisee fees? You're not getting money out of the central pool. That's the big loss, Akash. How much money do clubs earn from ticket sales which have at least 20k average attendance? Rushabh, I don't know how much they earn because it depends. You have to pay taxes on the tickets itself. I don't know how many free tickets are there. I don't know what are your running costs. That is, I don't know how much they actually earn. Even RPSG or Imani will also not invest in more money in East Bengal in 20 years, but someone will come because of their heritage and fan base. Same do not go with clubs without fan base. Shomo, how did the last three investors of East Bengal come? And how did RPSG come? Who cares about heritage and fan base? It was political pressure why these people came. Nobody cared about heritage and fan base. What is the value of the fan base to Mr. Goenka? What does he earn anything extra because of that? Is he making money because of that? This is another big myth of Kolkata football, that this fan base is this fan base is that. Sorry, it is worth nothing. Every fan base in India is worth a big zero. Are the fans spending, I don't know, 20,000, 30,000 rupees a year on merchandise? Are they spending on the clubs? The reality is very, very brutal when it comes to Indian football. There is a lot of myths that people have created around and a lot of people believe, which sadly aren't true. And which aren't taking us any forward. That is our biggest problem. If we want to move forward, no one is. How much money did clubs earn approximately in the first season of ISL? Rushabh, it depends on club to club. But if clubs are earning between 10 and 20 crores, that's a lot of money. Without East Bengal and Mohun would never been to ISL, at least in 2021. Sorry? Without? But because of sentiment, fan base, political parties taking action on behalf of club, I'm saying from club's point of view, Goenka, Iman will come and go, but these clubs will be there. Yeah, but if you get rid of these guys now, right, who will come forward? Are there any other big groups there again? And Mr. Goenka has put it to the next level. Mr. Goenka has been spending more and more, right? You know, so that's there. Actually, let's put it this way, Akash. There were other people involved. I don't think. I'm not going to go into details, but don't give the sponsorship part or the investors part. Yes, but there are other people who are more important to get these clubs into the ISL or ensure, and they were on the verge of not getting into the ISL. The problem is, Shoma, if I come back, the investors are coming in because there's political pressure, yes, but they are somewhere also making money. You know, so that's it. Average attendance is 30,000 for Mohun Bagan. 50 rupees average is quite a lot of money, but just add up the costs, right? I don't know how many security people are there organizing a match day. You've got catering. You have to pay rent for the stadium. You have to pay this for that. I honestly don't know how much they make from matches these days in Kolkata. I know from other teams, for Delhi FC, Punjab FC, for example, said that for them, it is better to have a stadium with free ticketing than paid ticketing because of taxes and other things in Delhi. So these are the things. If we want to believe and want to live in the bubble that Indian football has been for the last 100 years, you know, exactly. We don't know whose money is investing where, but government is bound to take action because of their East Bengal, Myanmar, and vote bank. Shomo, I've spoken to government people in Bengal, you know, and this whole vote bank talk is making it bigger than it is. It is rather to keep Bengal relevant generally and especially in sports. Because if you look at other sports, a lot of these franchise-based leagues don't have a Kolkata-based team. And just go back to 2014. If it was as per plan, Shah Rukh Khan would have gotten the Calcutta franchise. So there's a lot of things, what you understand, there's a lot of logic to that. But a lot of things that happen behind the scene, you don't know, and I'm not going to talk about those things, right? So that's also. To be honest, if those club officials got kicked out, then it would be good for the clubs. I would like Goenka to run it rather than Devashish. Yeah. Mohun needs to sell foods and merchandise to that audience to earn money. Akash, the audience doesn't want to pay. They rather pay $200 for a Maidan shirt than rather pay $700 or $1,000 for an original jersey. That's the reality. That's your fan base at the moment, right? That's the same thing that the Blasters are suffering in. You see the army of orange shirts. Most of them are fake Blasters shirts. They're not originals. It would be needed that every ISL club would get some profit. Otherwise, Indian football again would downgrade it. No one makes profits. Knowledge is everywhere. Nobody makes profits. Nobody has made profits in the last 10 years. And if anybody says that he or she is making profits, there have been articles planted where they're saying, oh, we've made profits. No, they don't make sense. If you add up that, for example, Jamshedpur FC said, oh, we're breaking even. Your sponsorship is coming from Tata's. Of course, you're not breaking even. Mohun Bagan Supergiant main sponsors are Goenka-owned companies. You're not breaking even. So you're putting 5 rupees from one pocket to another pocket. That is not making profits. That is just trying to even out your books, which you aren't. The losses have gone up. Then say, why was the investment done in the past 10 years if it's not giving any profit? That is a question, a very valid question, Shivam. There is no profitability in Indian football. Forget Indian football, across Indian sports. Cricket is the only sport where you can make profits because of the massive television rights. The reality is, remember Ranjit Bajaj said, oh, you know what, Indian football is worth a lot. The I-League clubs are now paying money for Sony to show their league. Right? Normally Sony should be paying to show Indian football. Let's be honest, even cricket, most people don't buy original jerseys for MFC in case the jersey price 2K. I mean, this was a little lower. I would gladly buy it. But Rishabh, even I bought a fake jersey for 250 rupees. But that's the mentality problem, right? And this way, sports will never develop in India. But these cricket entities are making money because the television rights are worth so much. So for them, merchandise is not an importance. Why have most Indian cricket teams who originally were kitted by an Adidas or by a Puma or whatever, or Reebok or whatever, why have they pulled out? Because there's no market. You know? So that is something that needs to be remembered. If you are buying, you're not willing to spend that 2K, which is a low price, because if you look at the Western world now, jerseys cost you 100 euros or 100 pounds or whatever. So 2,000 rupees is a joke. But again, 2,000 rupees is still too costly. So that is a problem. Shachi broadcast is much better quality, happier. At the moment it is. Let's hope it stays this way. Kerala Blasters fans are more smarter than other ISL clubs fans. Only Kerala Blasters made a profit. Here's the only ISL, only one club in ISL. They've never made a profit. Who tells you that knowledge is everywhere? Who tells you these myths? Nobody in Indian club football, if they are showing you openly their books, will be able to show you that they're making a profit. No club. The only entities who are making profits are academies, for example, who do pay-to-play models. Yeah, so that's the reality. Okay, let's leave ticket sales in the bin. Why do you think TV viewership is less or money from it is less? I mean, we have EU football fans, we just have to attract them, only make some money. Rushabh, even the European Football League's watching figures, and the figures aren't anywhere near it. Think about it, television rights at some stage, Star used to pay 50 million pounds a year. $50 million a year. That has come down to less than 2 million, right? The realities are brutal. True, even Thiago came to India, then show how cheaply he can get jerseys from Akara. So yeah, exactly. How can I buy? I don't know what the figure was, but he put out for how many rupees can I, how many shirts can I get for? So, and that's the thing. Why can't Blasters make profits? Because the running of the club is too costly. Do you guys understand how costly it is to run an Indian club? Because of what I say, why I always keep on saying that the players are so overpaid? Our biggest problem are the salaries. Be it ISL, be it I-League, be it going down the pyramid. That's our biggest problem. If we can't solve that, nobody can make. Again, there are two things. Either you reduce costs, right, and your main cost around the world in team sports are the players. So therefore, for me, are you going to reduce that? No one's reducing that. It's rather right. It's risen exponentially over the last 2-3 years. So then you have to try and generate more money. The main money generator for leagues around the world is television. And television is a big zero. Then what am I going to do? I saw a video outside Old Trafford. Everyone say they are wearing third-party jerseys upon questioning. Akash, but Man United has been, what was last summer they came out and said, listen, they've sold more jerseys than ever before. Doesn't add up. Adidas would have not given Man United that much of money if Man United wasn't selling original jerseys. You try and understand these things. These are basics. Kerala Blasters in 2024 won 6, lost 16, drew 3 out of 25 games, lost at least once against every club except Modern Sporting. Wow, that's not a good stat. But again, right, Pablo's animation, I think someone else, was talking about it, and I said to them, even under Vukovanovic, your track record in the second half of seasons has not been good. Then, other than why do ISL club sell players in Europe 100 crore, 200 crore? Who has sold 100 crore, 200 crore players to Europe? Are you out of your mind? They're not selling players to abroad. I was in India in November. I thought, let's watch ISL in my uncle's home. I couldn't because we couldn't find Sports 18 with Star Sports. This was never an issue. Akash, I have not had that issue. Again, I've been able to watch it wherever I have been, or again, Geo Cinema always has been a backup. So you think we need a salary cap in ISL, especially for domestic players? Tobo, yes, but who will implement it, right? I know that in Major League Soccer, they have a salary cap and it works very, very well for the league. So therefore, yeah, that is something, right? Can you give insights of any club you know where the cash they are burning? Would like to know the numbers. Sure, no need to name any club. Rishabh, I'm not going to name. I know the numbers for certain clubs, but again, as with other things, I don't throw around names and I don't throw out numbers, but they're burning money, right? And this is something. Yeah, for example, let's take the Blasters for that, right? The Blasters have had now a strategy in saying, you know what, we're trying to even out our books. Therefore, we're selling players for inflated transfer fees. It's good for them. And we're trying to develop players. But they're still losing money. Not only us, but even for the top 5 leagues, TV viewership has seriously decreased over the last few years. Shivam, our numbers are bad, exactly. But the problem is that the numbers have been bad for a while. Yes, Sports It is not in my TV. Yeah, so that's another problem. Don't we have a salary cap now, 18 crore something? Babalus, if we have an 18 crore, even if you had a 16.5 crore salary cap, then most of the teams wouldn't be able to register their 25 players because they're all above the salary cap. Last year, I saw a set of data about revenue loss of ISL clubs. One as a break-even position, no loss, no revenue. And then that data that you've seen is wrong. Mohun Bagan is the club which is losing the most money. See, that's the thing. Who are your sources? Where you're getting from? People are sharing information. Very difficult. Can't FS still enforce this? I'm sure many of the smaller clubs will appreciate it. Everyone will work around it. If you're working for a club, the problem is that you'll do deals here, deals there. Official salary of a player, I don't know, is 2 crores, and then he has a sponsorship deal with someone with 1 crore. And this way, that way, you can work around it. In Indian context, it will not work because it will Jugaad will be the main focus, and that does not help Indian football. That's sadly, brutally the reality of things, and that is why we are where we are, right? If you like it or not. What is the academy doing in India? Why can't they able to provide workers players? Because they're not good enough. Knowledge is everything. The academies are not good enough. The coaches are not good enough. The system is not good enough. Isn't salaries one of the biggest expenses of a club in ISL? Overall, shouldn't it be regulated? Rishabh, I would think that your salaries make up about, depending on club, between 60 to 80% of your cost, right? And they say a good club in Europe will say that they try and keep their staff expenditures below 50%. They just sponsor their own clubs so it shows break even. Yeah, bro, exactly. That's what I'm saying, right? CAC and all that stuff. That's why the Tatas also said, yeah, that's why we, again, um, it's a reality. In India, most of the people I know don't have Sports 18, whatever. Whenever I visit India, I watch on Jio Cinema on our TV. I told my friends, watch ISL. They say they don't have this channel. Yeah, okay. But again, as you say, Jio Cinema. Do you think of any entity other than Reliance can run ISL? None comes to my mind, to be very honest, Bruce. There should be, must be in a country of the size of India, but I don't know. It's now in both Sports 18 and Star Sports too, yeah. That's also because of the merger between those entities. TV era is gone. ISL needs to focus on OTT rights till when TV 18 has OTT and TV rights. It runs out, I think, this summer, because we don't even know if the ISL will continue post the summer, right? Because of the FSDL AIFF deal not running on. Let's say I run a football club from Kolhapur and have a decent support for sure, no money from it, but I start from I-League. How much money I would be burning? Rishabh, if you're starting from Kolhapur, right, you have to start local league. You have to try play Maharashtra league. Maharashtra league doesn't exist, so your roadmap doesn't work, right? Then you have to say, okay, how do I get into I-League 3? Because you have to then be Maharashtra champions. There you already be burning money. If you go into I-League 2, you will be, the smaller teams spend about 50 lakh to a crore. The big teams spend about 2.5 crore already in I-League 2. The big I-League teams are spending about 15 to 20 crores. Right? And that's what you're mainly burning. If you're getting 2-3 crores back, you're very, very lucky. You are. And football, as you will know as a sport, is nothing is guaranteed. Right? Gokulam Kerala, I remember, said a few years ago, when promotion starts, we'll be there. They were winning the I-League before promotion came in. And then Punjab won it in the first year, Mohammedan won it in the second year. And they're burning money. Most of will be like 10 lakh salary plus 90 lakh travel allowance plus 1 crore loyalty bonus. Yeah, they'll be working around salaries, and that's the thing that we need to understand. If you like it or not, this is something which is an issue, right? And sadly, we have not been able to work around it. I don't see a workaround of it at the moment, and it's part of our problems. It's part of our problems in Indian football with the salaries, with the incomes. That's why I always say, give a little bit more respect to the people who are investing money into Indian football. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about the Kolkata clubs or we're talking about some obscure team which has no following, because that's the challenge. That's the challenge at the end of the day, to grow the whole system. And that system is, where it is. It is where it is. And if these people say tomorrow, we're not going to put money into Indian football, then the AIFF, the state FAs can do what they can do. But this is money which has come in because of the commitment that Reliance has. Reliance itself has spent not even hundreds, they spent thousands of crores on Indian football over the last 14 years. These are realities. If I like it or not, these are the realities of Indian football in the year 2024. And we've got 12 months for the AIFF to sort its contract out with Reliance for the ISL to continue. Otherwise, even this would disappear. Then we will be talking about Santosh Trophy and not about, about the ISL. That's my real fear. If you ask me, that's my real fear, where we are stuck with Indian football at the moment. So I hope we move in the right direction. But again, there are doubts. There are doubts about it. And sorry if I sometimes come across as being a little harsh, but I sometimes have to say I've seen it, I've done it myself, so I know these things. I'm not talking most other people are talking in theory about these things. I talk from a practical standpoint because I have run a team, I've managed teams, I've set up clubs, I've worked in a federation, I've worked in a confederation. So these are things which should be logical, but for Indian football, sometimes it isn't. So yeah, over 2 hours. Wow, didn't even realize that we've done that. As always, keep supporting. Don't, as I say, don't stop supporting Indian football. That's my thing. Very important. Let's keep on supporting Indian football through all the problems and all the issues. Is there any work from AIFF about the extension of the contract with AIFF still? They're saying it, but they're not doing it, Blue. As with everything else. We will wait and see. Who knows what will happen. 2024, if we thought it was a difficult year, 2025 either might go surprisingly well, or it might be even more chaos if the Supreme Court takes a certain level of decision. Not sure. I'm worried about Indian football for 2025. Forget what happens on the field, but off the field as well. So this is something which is a reality. I hope things get better. I wish. Again, hope is the only thing that I've got left. But I will still keep on fighting in the background for the best interest of Indian football. It is not always easy. Therefore, as I say, we need to grow our community. We need to get more people involved. We need to get stronger. And we need to fight for Indian football. That's the only thing that I can do, that we can do together to try and fight for Indian football and for a better future, right? How much does it cost to travel on Thursday and play an international friendly? Plus, does depend on, just do the numbers. Check a flight from A to B, how much it costs. Check how much a hotel costs. You can add up that. It seems Shachi is very keen to take over ISL. Akash, they might be, but they're in no position to run it, right? That we're talking about one of India's biggest and some small time, sorry, no disrespect to Rahul Todi and his group, but they're a small time group out of Bengal, right? So that's the reality of things, right? So I don't know. Good evening, Ishan. Welcome. I'm just about to close the show. Over 2 hours and 10 minutes. So it's possible to produce good coaches in India where no one has played football at the highest level yet. Yeah, but it is on the individual to become the best, right? So that's on everyone individually. Nowadays, all is possible. I would never say that. Good night, Blues. Blue, sorry. Good night, Blue. Good night, Blues. Good night, everybody else. Come to the end for tonight. Jamshedpur FC beat Kerala Blasters. They move into top 4. The Blasters remain in the bottom 4. Indian women's national team play tomorrow their first friendly against the Maldives under Alexanderson as the new coach. Don't know where that came from, but he's there. And yeah, end of 2024. It's been a tough year. I'm going to start doing a couple of reviews from tomorrow and then a preview for the 1st of Jan as well. Do watch the short videos. Thanks already for the support for the Ryan Williams video, which seems to be going through the roof at the moment. Thank you for that. And we are at 2,052 subscribers. So thank you very much, guys. We've grown quite a bit today. And leave a like behind if you've liked what you've seen, what you've heard. Your support is very, very important for this channel to grow and spread out. We need more people to come and support us. And I take this as a last thing. Truth is hard to accept sometimes. Indian football has its flaws a lot, but also we should love some of the good ones. Good night. Yeah, well said. Very well said. I'll be back tomorrow night after the Mumbai City versus Northeast United game, the final ISL game of the year. Good night, Tobo, as well from my side. Good night, everybody. I'll catch you tomorrow night.